And so we breathe even deeper into the stillness of the center of the I am that I am. Easy inhales in. Easy exhales out. Open and receptive to receive our highest and best good, with no blocks, no hindrances, and no delays. Willing to receive all healing and transformation, abundance and wealth, prosperity and joy. All that is meant for us reaches us with ease and with grace. And as you look within, say to yourself, I am the masterpiece of the divine. I am the masterpiece of the divine. I am the masterpiece of the divine. Allow for all insight and wisdom to reach you with ease and with grace. Struggling for nothing and receptive and open to anything and everything that has to do with your highest and best good now. See all categories of your good flow through you now with ease and with grace, with joy and surrender. Allow for anything and everything that no longer serves you to be relinquished and vanish with your next exhale. And the next exhale after that. And the next exhale after that. Remind yourself, I am the masterpiece of the divine. I am the masterpiece of the divine. I am the masterpiece of the divine. Allow and embrace all healing and transformation and revelation for your highest and best good now. I allow. I allow. I allow. So just allow for your heart space to fill with gratitude with the next inhale. And fill every organ, action, function, cell, and fiber of your being with this gratitude on the exhale. Even more gratitude on the inhale. And even more gratitude on the exhale. Grateful for all insight and healing. Grateful for all revelation, transformation. Grateful for seeing myself as the divine sees me, a masterpiece. I am the masterpiece of the divine. Nothing missing, lacking, needing, or wanting. I am the masterpiece of the divine. I am the masterpiece of the divine. I am the beloved in whom Spirit is well pleased. I am the beloved in whom Spirit is well pleased. I am the beloved in whom Spirit is well pleased. And so inviting you to bring your awareness back to the body temple, your place within the room. Just with the next breath, feel the chair or wherever you're sitting, the floor, wherever you're sitting supporting you, feel that place support you. Bring yourself fully back to the body, the physical form. You may want to gently move your legs and tap your toes to the ground. Feel Mother Earth, Gaia anchor you now. And when you're ready, just gently return to the room. Allow the outer eyelids to open in your own time. And feel the air and the space and see the people. And with a grateful and joyous heart, we continue the Sunday service. Grateful to each of you, I am, for keeping your time of stillness and practice. I'm grateful to each of you, I am, for setting a tone and space for healing and transformation for each person now who enters the double doors of our sanctuary. This concludes our meditation. Namaste.
Morning, everybody. Thank you, Brother Mark. look at the person next to you. Say, God loves you and I love you too. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice, repeat after me. We come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize a God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice, repeat after me. We come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, from every walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we unite, in honor of the love of each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice, repeat after me. We come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey. Yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Here we make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey. Yeah, yeah. I'm in the right place, the right time, just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place, the right time, just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. welcome here. My soul is 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 welcome. Oh, my soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. I am getting a message loud and clear. Getting a message loud and clear. Getting a message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. That's some good energy. Okay. Welcome to the Center of Spiritual Living Redlands. And thank you, everyone, for joining us on Facebook and YouTube and here in our beautiful sanctuary. My name is Ed Torres, and I'm the board president, and it is a privilege and an honor to welcome you to our sanctuary celebration service. Redlands is a new thought community living in an ancient wisdom philosophy based on science of mind. The science of mind philosophy was developed in the early 20th century by writer-lecturer Reverend Dr. Ernest Holmes. Dr. Holmes studied truths from the world's religious traditions and spiritual paths and developed a fresh new way for us to look at ourselves and how we fit into our world. CSL Redlands is an open and inclusive community, honoring all people from every background, all races, sexual orientation, gender expressions, and spiritual paths. No matter who you are or where you are in your journey of faith, you are always welcome here. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence, and our vision is a world that works for everyone and all of creation. If you are here for the first time, please raise your hand and let us greet you properly. So we're all welcome. We know you have a choice for your spiritual community, and again, we are delighted to have you visit us today. A gentle reminder, please silence your cell phones and place them in a place them safely away so you can participate fully. And again, welcome all of you to the Center of Spiritual Living Redlands. Thank you.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes to see there is only love, only love, love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. When I lose myself and it seems I've lost my way, There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. There is only love. Only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love.
Keep playing, it's good. So let's just turn within and sing that to yourself, whether it's internally or externally. It's one of my favorite centering songs. Think of the lyric when what is it? Close my mind, or what is it? And quiet my mind.
Quiet my mind.
When I quiet my mind and turn inside, I can hear Spirit say, there's only love. It's a topic for today. It's a revelation and insight and wisdom that we each and all should know by now and still have the chance to be reminded. So as we turn within to this place, it's where Spirit lives, it's where the universe resides, it's where all of our needs are met, all on time, every time. Let's breathe that in together. Breathe in that divine and sacred holy breath. And we exhale out anything and everything that are remnants that no longer serve us. And as we return to our normal breathing, we're in that center of the I am that I am, where indeed there's only love. And this love is indeed the thing that sets us free. And so I call forth for the service to continue to unfold with ease and grace, with a sense of joy and play, with a harmony and intelligence, with the reminders of all the ancient wisdoms that come forth to be practical reminders of how we can live more happy lives, more fruitful lives. Lives based on service and lives that are gleeful even, where all of our needs are met on time, every single time. And so indeed, we call forth for all blessings to reveal themselves with ease and grace. I call forth for health and wholeness and harmony and prosperity and wealth and joy and abundance. I call forth for any unhealed places to be healed. I call forth for this divine intelligence to run through every organ, action, function, cell, and fiber of my being now. And I'm going to invite you to join with me in calling forth peace on earth. There are many places in struggle and strife throughout the globe. There are many places locally, nationally, and internationally in need of this love that indeed conquers all. So if you're willing to see the idea of peace as the highest vibration, see that with me now. See order, and calling forth divine order. I'm calling forth for Spirit to make a way where I as the human may not know the way. I'm calling forth for supplies to reach all those who are waiting for supplies and medication and food. I'm to cease and stop. Calling forth for the divine intelligence to have its full sway through all leaders who can make a difference, to choose peace, to allow freedom, to allow for love to have its full sway and the final word, to this vibration of peace and love to encompass all that are lower frequencies, and turn it into itself, more and more peace, more and more love, more and more harmony, more and more wisdom. So calling forth for any and all prayers that are on your heart to be answered with ease and with grace, for it is your good and you ought to have it, as Emma Curtis Hopkins would say. Calling forth for any previous blocks or hindrances that may have deferred or denied or delayed your highest expression for your highest good to have no more power, and instead be replaced with the truth that indeed there's only love, there's only peace, there's only this joy and this wisdom. You want to end with a few lyrics, it would be awesome. As we say in our hearts, sing along, and at the end we'll say,
there is only love.
Feel that.
Only love. Love that heals. Love that sets me free. There is only
you can feel it, just allow it to encompass your heart space. And I invite us all within the sound of my voice to say together, and so it is. And so now, thank you, Al. That was so beautiful. Thank you, everyone. And now we have, in the reading portion, we have Ann Spear, who's going to give a special presentation.
Good morning. So excited to be here. Today I'm going to be talking about the 4 pillars, the sovereignty pillars. Most of you know, some of you don't. My best friend, Krista Marie Miller, is a voice intuitive channel for Mary Magdalene, and she has brought forth some amazing teachings, and I am so thankful to finally have the green light to bring them forward. So I'll be sharing the 4 pillars today and the anti-pillars of Mary Magdalene channeled through Krista Marie Miller. So pillar 1 is security of self. This is the base level on which all other pillars are based. When pillar 1 is strong, you are comfortable being alone with yourself, your own thoughts, and your own company. You do not require outside validation, entertainment, or distraction to be at peace or know your value. All areas of your life will flow in balance with security. The anti-pillar to number 1 is worry. I really don't think I need to give a lot of insight to worry. Worry often leads to anxiety. Worry is an attempt to control the uncontrollable. Pillar 2 is trust. Trust and security may seem like the same concept, but they are defined pillars, according to Magdalene. When pillar 1 is within yourself, pillar 2 is outside of yourself. Trust in your own guidance and provision of the universe. You trust the intuitive guidance given to you. You understand your unique process for receiving guidance and trust it to unfold. You trust that the assistance you require will arrive on time, every time. Brother Mark speaks to that often. The anti-pillar to number 2 is doubt. Chronic doubt can lead to depression. It can lead to a feeling of being lost, adrift, or going through the motions of life. It causes you to miss the guidance that will keep you in alignment with your soul purpose. Pillar 3, safety. When 1 and 2 are in place, 3 will come in naturally. Pillar 3 focuses on safety within oneself and the ability to express it with the world. This begins with a strong self-love and loving yourself unconditionally. When pillar 3 is in place, you are accepting of who and what you are in all times, environments, relationships, and experiences. The anti-pillar to number 3 is shame. Shame begins with your internal dialogue, so be mindful of what you're telling yourself about yourself, especially around self-worth, self-acceptance, and self-love. An example of shame would be you buy a fancy new outfit, new shoes, and then you just leave them in the closet all of the time because you're worried of what someone might think. Inside, you're kind of too ashamed to be visible. Pillar 4 is honor, honoring yourself. You honor all choices and decisions you have made in the first 3 pillars, regardless of their outcomes. You honor who you are as a whole person. You honor your soul's journey, every part, even the painful parts. You are worthy of honoring yourself, your strengths, your passions, you survived, and your growth. The anti-pillar to number 4 is guilt. Guilt can be imposed by others on you, and it can be imposed on you by yourself. Guilt and shame have been common parenting tactics for ages. They are influences that have shaped societies and religions. So you see why I am completely obsessed with the 4 pillars. Magdalene says when you have one or more of your sovereign pillars in place, love can come in. And whenever you have 2 or more of the anti-pillars in place, you allow fear to come in. So keeping in line with the service today, I really would just challenge you all to let love win and stay inside your pillars. Thank you.
Okay, and that is part of the teaching, open at the top, right? That's what I loved about Holmes' teaching, about always staying open at the top for a new insight, revelation, even quantum physics now, right? So it's here, and we can embrace it. This whole month we've been talking about the idea of love out loud, and today I'm going to start with the quote by John Lennon, and I never do, and it says, "Love is the answer, what is the question?" And this whole idea of love wins. It's been a while since I used any props, but I thought of this morning using a prop, and so it came to me. And you know, in the centers, all of our centers, you hear a phrase, especially if you attend very often. It's called the isness, right? The isness or the allness. Have you heard that before? And some people are like, what is an isness and what is an allness? And so I wanted to talk a little bit about this idea that all of the spiritual truths, all of the divine qualities, they're always running in their fullness in the invisible. And it's our opportunity to plug in and connect to the isness and allness of whatever the frequencies are, whatever the allness is, whatever the isness is of what it is you want to experience. Does that make sense? Everything's already happened, and not only happened with the past tense, it's happening. Everything's already happening. That's why we're energy beings, and so that's why we can walk in a space and it's already got a tone, it's got a tenor, it's got a vibration, it's got a frequency. And we can be repelled by it, and we can be drawn to it. And it's the same as individual physical forms that we are, right, of spirit. We can be drawn to certain people, and we can favor them, and then we can also choose not to engage with some. Like we may be actually neutral if we want to go practice the spiritual toolbox of neutrality, or if we want to go and inquire and be with those people. It's a natural phenomena. It's an energy. We're energetic frequencies. So when we say something it's a tough topic to say love wins. I mean, if you really pay attention to what's happening in the news, you can ask yourself all day long, how is love winning there? How's love winning there? How's love winning there? How's love winning there? How is love winning there? And it takes some internal work and insight and practice to find any answer to that. The humanness is heavy. It's very, very heavy. And the divine that's within us is light, and it's eternal. And the word came to me today that I hardly ever use, but this idea of ethereal. It's carefree. Your divine, there's nothing that can happen to us in the physical that the divine can't handle with ease and grace and with joy and with this returning to itself. If you think of the book title from Marianne Williamson, and I may have a quote later from that source, it's called A Return to Love. That was the book title, right? So this idea of this isness and this allness, can you think of out there any words that come to you that are synonymous to love? Compassion. Connection. Acceptance. Humanity. Beautiful. Thank you, Sana. Oneness. Empathy. Now, in the Science of Mind teaching, a lot of times we use love as a synonym for spirit or God, right? Or this universal intelligence or this wisdom that flows in and through and as everything in all creation. And so what I want you to consider, and if the only thing you take away from today is when you want to see love win, or you want to experience any divine quality, you got to take time to plug in. I've stopped using props a while back, but it called for me today to be reminded that sometimes it's easier, like, where does this go and where does this go? Right? And maybe it's simple as it's going to go to my heart, and this is going to go, maybe I want more prosperity, cash and money through my life, so I'm going to plug into abundance. Maybe I'm having a hard time at home, and so I want to plug into divine right relationships. And maybe I need to use my brain for part of that. And so then I'm going to plug into divine right relationships.
It's a plug-in math problem with love being
Yeah.
the solution after the equal sign.
Okay, I think what David's saying is love is the solution after the equal sign, and everything else is just your equation, however the equation works for you. And that's a really powerful way to say it, because for each of us individually, it's going to be a different equation. For some of us, it may just be this plus this equals this. And for some of us, I can tell you how the road we travel, it's this plus this times this minus this. Right, give me a power, to the power of 2, right, divided by 1. And it becomes one of those word problems, right? And so we don't have to make it complicated. In spirit, there's nothing complicated. In the divine, there's nothing complicated.
The work was already done because it started as love, and then past the equal sign broke into what it is we are experiencing. And we just need to follow that path.
We need to follow the path that's already been created. The math problem is solved, and love is the isness. Love is the allness. And that goes for all the other, and this is something I want you to, anybody within the sound of my voice, to take with you today. It's also healing, health, and wholeness, right? Because it's going to break down to that in our physical form, we are eternal beings, and there's nothing that can be taken from us, including our very physicalness. The divine is going to last eternally and immortally as each of us. And so even the physical form taken away, it seems severe. It doesn't cause it doesn't take away anything from your nature, from your divine essence, and from the knowing that the divine has of you, from the idea from our meditation that we are whole, complete, and perfect, that there's nothing missing, lacking, needing, nor wanting, and from the idea that I am the masterpiece of the divine. Can you be with that idea? If you're feeling that at all, let's just say it. You can say it silently or out loud as an affirmation. Let your solar plexus hear it. I am the masterpiece of the divine. Are you? I always like to ask in my affirmations, are you? Because then that's your work for the day. It's your work for when your thoughts take you in a different way. It's your work to remind yourself, I am the masterpiece of the divine. And then let's just say this, if you are feeling it. There's nothing missing, lacking, needing, nor wanting within me. There's nothing missing, lacking, needing, nor wanting within me. And then we'll go further. I am the isness. I am the allness. Yeah, that feels good, doesn't it? It feels true. To me, that especially the last two, all of it felt true. Or you don't want to say it as an affirmation. And at the same time, yeah, I am the isness. I am the allness. Maybe it's time to rewatch the old movie Matrix. Right? And it's the idea that you can plug in to your nature anytime, right? You can plug into the natures. You can call forth. This is a really powerful thing. You can call forth any of the divine qualities for yourself, anything that you're going through in the humanness, anytime. Does everybody catch that? Then yesterday I was reading a book on the back, which I don't normally take time to do. And it was a Joel Osteen book, which I normally don't take time to do. But I do kind of appreciate him. And I think one of his writers must be a science of mind-based writer. Because if you look at a lot of the words, if you look at a lot of the verbiage and the phrasing, it's very much in tune and aligned with science of mind teaching. And one of the powerful things that I read yesterday was that sometimes we use our prayer work to call forth for Spirit to do something. And the line was something, and I might get it, I'm just going to paraphrase it. The idea is not to ask God or ask Spirit to resolve an issue, it's to invite Spirit into the issue. And that really caught my attention yesterday. I was like, yeah. Yeah, it's actively asking the opinion of, and you can a lot of times I'll ask to be surprised. In the romance that you build with the divine, you can ask to be surprised at what's most needed for your soul's evolution at this moment in time. As long as it's for your highest and best good, I'm all for you calling that forth. And you want to use that caveat about it being for your highest and best good. And so let's see what other things that I brought today. There's a quote from Holmes, The Science of Mind, page 365. The only thing that can bring love, joy, peace, and prosperity to the world is a direct experience of the invisible. We must sense the immediate presence of life. With simplicity and directness, we must sense that the Spirit is at the center of our own lives. We must learn to recognize that it is at the center of all people. Isn't that beautiful? So we can go back to that affirmation. I am the isness. I am the allness. And then look to somebody else in the space and say the same thing. You are the isness. You are the allness. You are the isness. You are the allness. You are the isness. You are the allness. And that's how we can bless each other. That's how we can experience more and more of that oneness. And then you can even just think that to yourself and remind that to yourself, especially if you're being cut off on the freeway. I looked up today, I was driving to meditation, and somebody was going at least 100 miles an hour behind me, so I voluntarily moved over, which the majority of all cars will not do. I mean, it's one of the rules of the road. If you're not going fast enough, go over one lane, who cares? And I literally looked up and there's this little blue truck going, I was going pretty quickly to make it on time for our early bird special. I was probably going 80, and literally they were right there. And so of course I just moved over. Blinker on, always want to put the blinker on and move over, make it safe, right? And then they got stuck behind a ton of cars and trucks, and I went to the far right lane. It was easy. And then later on, but guess what? Later on, there they were again. They somehow made their way through, all the way through. But you'll be surprised if you pay attention. And the worst of all is when you just go slow enough so no one can go anywhere and they're stuck. And that's interesting because in life, if we want to see the highest and best good for everyone in all creation, sometimes we have to move over. Safely and lovingly move over. All right, let's see if we have some more quotes. One is, love is the solution to every problem. It's a teaching point, not a quote. The third was, when we love ourselves, our lives shift and our authenticity inspires joy. And then this has to do with the pillars that were mentioned today by Anne. And thank you so much for sharing that. Those are powerful. And it's interesting because when I was learning in 1996 to 2000s, when I did my practitioner studies, it's almost a rote thing or something that's ingrained in us, that we want to remove fear, doubt, and worry. And I think some of those were like the first three of the things that you had mentioned for the anti of the pillars, right? We want to always pay attention that when we're feeling fear, we want to kind of nip that in the bud and reconnect, right? We want to reconnect. A lot of times in our teaching, we go to the opposite of what's being experienced in the human. If we're having a prognosis we don't want to accept, right, or a diagnosis, we can go to the opposite, to divine health and wholeness, right? We don't have to accept somebody else's word. And at the same time, we can bless any choices we make of medications or herbs, treatments, surgeries. We're all for all those things. And what I believe is that we can use our power and the power of our intention and our intentionality to bless those things. We can even do things like blessing all the places that we're going and see them with ease and grace, see that they recognize you as the isness and allness of God. You can call forth for ease with making any kinds of appointments. You can bless anything you take within the physical body. It's let me think of the words, because I always say this and it's coming up a little bit blank. It's the idea of where you're blessing anything we intake. And do you remember what it is? It'll come to me. What is it? Oh yeah, assimilation and elimination. Thank you. Is sometimes this early, my words are a little bit. If you catch me in an hour, all my words will be like, blah, blah, blah. Perfect assimilation, perfect elimination. How does that feel? So let's just call it forth for ourselves. And anything that you're taking, perfect assimilation, just say, I call forth perfect assimilation, perfect elimination. Yeah. Even if it's a medication, I sometimes try to change it into an herb before I take it. And I like to think of everything in our house. We have a bunch of herbal things, and those are, my understanding is, you can't take too much of those, right? Your body will intuitively and naturally know how to eliminate those things. Very powerful when you're doing that in the blessing of your food. Very powerful when you're turning your ice cream into broccoli. Perfect assimilation, perfect elimination. So how else does love win? Here's Science of Mind, page 491. If we look at love long enough, we shall become lovely, for this is the way of love. God is love. If we gaze longingly at joy, it will make its home with us, and we shall enter its portals and be happy. That's Science of Mind. Isn't that beautiful? Page 298, Science of Mind. Love is the grandest healing and drawing power on the earth. Do you believe it? If you haven't been around little kids, most of them that I've ever been around and seen are incredibly powerful vessels of love. There's some people that say just holding a baby is like a way to heal yourself. Because we've forgotten, right? We got all the stuff kind of knocked out of us by now. We got a lot of high heel pumps in our forehead. We got a lot of sandal marks and flip-flop marks on our body. But they're still remembering that the idea of that love wins, that love is. They're essences of love, typically, normally, frequently, often. So page 486 of Science of Mind, nothing can keep us from the love of God. What a comfort, what a joy to know that all is well with the soul. Isn't that amazing? So simple. But if we think of that idea that all is well with my soul, is it? So that's where you want to check, right? That's where you want to do your practice work at home and think, and don't judge, just be like self-loving and say, wow, all is well with my soul, and, right? And then you may want to make a note of what's coming up in the categories, and then you have that opportunity to, when it's meaningful and you feel like you're able to connect even more fully, to connect. That's how we do this self-healing. And now it's the high holy days end tomorrow at sunset, right? It's Yom Kippur and Rosh Hashanah, right? Pretty sure. And so I heard an interview done by a rabbi yesterday on Morning Joe, and they said that during these high holy days, they're looking to find their soul's purpose. And part of how they do that is also in their practice of stillness, uncover relationships that might have had struggle or strife, and to do what they can to make those right. And I thought that's a very beautiful and powerful practice to share. So this idea that, do you believe that you in spirit or you in God are a majority? This is a very simple yet very powerful way to walk out of here with something even stronger than when you walked in the door, if you don't know this. Do you believe that? So if you can walk out of here knowing that nothing can come against you when you're united with this power and this presence that created you, there really isn't much else that you need to know or do. It's just this remembering. Life and then the human gives us all these reminders all the time, right? All you have to do is look down on your cell phone and you're going to have threads that offend you. You're going to see posts that are like, what? And you can be bogged down for hours if you keep paying attention looking down. There's people now who never really look up. If you're even when they're walking on the street, even when they're crossing the crosswalk, I've seen people who are good at it never look up. I even saw a post that had the fourth monkey. You know how there was see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil? And now they have a fourth monkey texting. So if you believe that you and spirit are a majority, and you can take that into your practice, and then you know that nothing can come against you, right? There's everything, you're well equipped to plug into any of the divine qualities at any time within you. I don't really know that there's more to say. It's powerful. You're powerful. You're the isness and the allness, right? You're the masterpiece of the divine. Let's see if you want to say it again. I'm going to say it again. I am the isness. I am the allness. Spirit and I are a majority. And then we're going to break out into can't touch this. Do, 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 do. Can't touch this. Right? Doesn't it feel like that? So I'm going to end with something that I chose to end, and then we're going to go to Al. Al, don't leave. If you want to play. This is from St. Augustine. God loves each of us as if there were only one of us. Good? This is from Marianne Williamson, A Return to Love. We're like the spokes on a wheel, all radiating out from the same center. If you define us according to our position on the rim, we seem separate and distinct from one another. But if you define us according to our starting point, our source, the center of the wheel, we're a shared identity. If you dig deep enough into your mind and deep enough into mine, the picture is the same. At the bottom of it all, what we are is love. From Scripture, Mark 1:11, you are my beloved, my favor rests on you. That sounds like an affirmation. Let's flip it. I am the beloved.
I am the beloved.
Spirit's favor rests on me.
Rests on me.
Yeah, I like it. From the Baha'i, let your heart burn with loving kindness for all who may cross your path. So I'm going to close with a couple quotes just recognizing Yom Kippur, which closes tomorrow at sunset. It's known as a Day of Atonement. It's the holiest day of the year for the Jews. Its central themes are atonement and repentance. Jews traditionally observe this holy day with a 25-hour period of fasting and intensive prayer. Yom Kippur completes the annual period known in Judaism as the High Holy Days. And from Sarah Debbie Gutfriend, she said, think of Yom Kippur as a lookout on the top of a mountain that you've been climbing all year. See your days and all their moments spread out before you. Be willing to look now at the big picture of your life, your ultimate goals, your beliefs. See each person in your life as part of that picture. What lesson have they taught you, even if you had to learn it through pain? What message is God sending you by putting this person in your life? And from Rabbi Noah Weinberg said, the entire world is God's message of love to us. Yom Kippur is the time when we are most open to receive this message. Are you feeling it? Can't touch this. And so it is.
Thank you, Mark. The Day of Atonement, or the Day of At-One-ment. Speaking of wordplay, which we do a lot around here, Mark started with that John Lennon quote, love is the answer, what is the question? I've had a brain worm going around my head. Might be a song someday, I don't know, but that turns that around to love is the question, and you are the answer. So if anybody has an idea where to go with that, let me know. There you go. Yeah, the infinity sign, right? There we go. I've heard it my whole life. The nicest guys always finish last. Look out for yourself, they say. The golden rule is just a thing of the past. People say fighting dirty is the only game that the world's gonna understand. But hold on, take a look. I've read the end of the book, and I know that love wins. Love wins, yeah. You can cheat, you can lie, but by and by, love wins, oh yeah, yeah. Love wins, love wins. Love wins, oh yeah, yeah. Love wins. I hear it's a real cruel world. I read the same morning paper as you. They say there's a real hard times. Some people never even make it through. Well, it seems like the devil's working overtime, and that he's got the upper hand. But hold on, take a look. I read the end of the book, and I know that love wins. Love wins, yeah. Better listen, my friend, 'cause in the end, love wins, yeah, yeah. Love wins, love wins. my friend, 'cause in the end, love wins, yeah, yeah. Love wins. Call me naive, call me a fool, I still believe that love is gonna rule. Love wins, yeah, yeah. Love wins, yeah, yeah. Love wins, yeah, yeah. Can you do that with me? Love wins, yeah, yeah. Love wins, yeah, yeah. Love wins, yeah, yeah. I can't hear you. Love wins, yeah, yeah. Love wins, yeah, yeah. Love wins, yeah, yeah. One more time. Love wins, yeah, yeah. Love wins, yeah, yeah. Love wins, yeah, yeah. Love wins.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Now, oh my gosh, is that Abel in the house? Baby boy, how's it going? So now it's time for our offering. The ushers are coming forth. It's our conscious time of giving. I invite you to bless your tithes and your gifts and your offerings. I want to remind you that the same portal from which we give from is the same portal that we receive from. You're looking good, Abel. It's good to see you. If you haven't had an Abel hug and you're a hugger, stand by. So I invite us to, I want to say the affirmation. If you didn't believe it, then you want to repeat it line by line after me. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper. It is evidence of my faith and my belief. It does great work in the world, and it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And before we say, and so it is, Eileen will remind us that Dr. Ruth used to remind us to expect your good from unexpected sources and places. And so it is.
Thank you for giving. Thank you for receiving. And thank you for being who you are. Thank you for breathing. Thank you for believing. And thank you for being who you are. The universe is flowing with love that's ever growing. And you are a vessel of that love. Thank you for caring, and bless you for your sharing, and thank you for being who you are. Thank you for being who you are.
So I invite us to, as a congregation, just stretch our hands out toward the offerings received. Know they come in all week long. Isn't that amazing? They come in by Venmo, PayPal, Zelle, by mail. It's awesome. So see all these offerings as sufficient to support the idea, the continued idea of CSL Redlands as a success in the mind of spirit right here and right now. See that? Can you feel it? Then together say with me, and so it is. All right, and so inviting those people watching remotely on Facebook Live, you can click on the Donate Now button. Let us know from where you're watching. Also inviting us to continue to remember that we continue to raise funds and cash and money for our friends in Ukraine, and that those links have been shared recently on our social media. The other way you can help to promote the center is by sharing it on your individual social media and even sending out texts and emails letting people know when we're going to be and where we're going to be, which is usually Sundays here, and how to find us online. And so now Ed Torres will do the announcements for us, and I want to thank you all. Love you.
Okay. First of all, I want to thank everyone for experiencing something very unique that many churches don't experience, and that is celebrating the holy days of Krishna, the holy days of our brothers and sisters in the Jewish community, and knowing that you don't have to be anything or a part of anything to be here to celebrate love. You can be an atheist, an agnostic, a Christian, a Jew, a Hindu, a Muslim, and a Buddhist. You can be all of those things because love is all things. So with the announcements, real quick, I just want to thank everybody for that. There is, next Sunday is going to be our regular service. We start at 9:45, okay, for meditation, and 9:40 for meditation. So we just were supporting our brothers and sisters in the Hindu community for their celebration of their holy days. And so mark your calendars. Next Friday, the 29th, from 5:30 to 8 p.m. is a special fundraiser concert here at the center. Bongos and barrettes under the musical direction of our Gilman Carver. Thank you, Gilman. So I want everybody to attend. And then also, the very next day, September 30th, join us for our spiritual fair right here in our sanctuary all day, Saturday. Sign up to volunteer with Eileen or Holly, and that's for our metaphysical fair that we're having here. And then lunch meats, donations, peanut butter, jelly are needed for our sandwich ministry. So see Jean. I brought 6 things of peanut butter today. And bring lunch meats as well. Also, David and Holly can use your assistance on Saturday mornings, to represent the CSL Redlands Morning Market Street Fair downtown. So I want to thank everyone for just experiencing the beauty and uniqueness of who we are. Thank you.
All right, 3 minutes, then we gotta get out of here. I used to think I'd always be alone, separate, misunderstood. I spent my days in quiet desperation, but on the outside, things looked good. Then I discovered the error of my thinking, the lie at the base of all my fears. So simple that it turned my world around. Oh, why did it take so many years?
Sing it out.
Now I am walking with my eyes wide open. I am knowing with my mind wide open. Loving with my heart wide open. I am walking with my eyes wide open. Now I am walking with my eyes wide open. I am knowing with my mind wide open. Loving with my heart wide open. I am walking with my eyes wide open, wide open. There is no separation, no matter what it looks like. No separation, no matter what they say. No separation.